Okay, week 8. I don't want to make this a very long lecture because really you should be concentrating on the readings this week. There's a lot of really in-depth readings, but I just wanted to have a little bit of a quick word as a bit of an overview to what we're looking at. So, we've been talking about ethics pretty much all throughout the term, but this week it's really focusing on ethics and specifically the wider effects of what we do in immersive design. So, we in weeks 2 and 5, and pretty much every week we've been pretty much discussing individual integrity. And that basically just means, how do we keep people safe? How do we not do bad things to the people that are accessing our immersive designs, our immersive experiences? But really, we've been neglecting pretty much things like equitable access and the wider effects of what we do. So essentially, this is what this week is going to be about. Now, just very quickly, equitable access, what's that? Well, there are people that are disabled in our society that doesn't have the same faculties as we do, so they might not have all the same senses that we have. Like maybe there's something wrong with how they see or how they hear. They literally might not have all the limbs that we have. So all our discussions with human-centric design so far has really been looking at people that are fully able-bodied. So for that, I would really encourage you to have a look at Sarah Hubbard's Sarah Hubbard's video on designing our things with that in mind. We also need to think about the wider societal effects of what we're doing, and so far I've been very biased about all the benefits that we could potentially bring, but if we're not careful, we could end up with something really dystopian. In fact, I remember one of the proposals for assessment 1 was about using augmented reality for advertising. Now that could really get out of control, and I'll post a video in the forum and we can discuss how and what's wrong with doing too much of that. So I have a whole bunch of question marks in here, and I really want to encourage you to think about the wider implications of doing immersive design. And perhaps a good starting point for that is to think about how your own particular design would actually have an effect on society. So please do the activity for this week, and we can have a discussion about that. Now, one other thing I wanted to point out was Catesby's 3 C's. So I'm a massive fan of William Catesby, Bill Catesby. I really encourage you to have a look at this video. So Catesby does mention Aristotle and Plato. So I guess don't get too intimidated by that. We're not going back, thousands of years and studying Greek philosophy, but a lot of this is still, it would be the basis for all this stuff, but it's not essentially the focus. And to me, if I were just to summarize this, the question of character would be, does my design change the character of the user? Does it make them worse? We don't want them to make them. We don't want to make them worse. One really obvious place where I can see this applied is in gambling experience design. So actually that's a really, really good example, and it's a live topic here in the state of New South Wales actually, because problem gambling is a massive problem. Because I'm not expressing that very eloquently, but if you look at say casino programs, it really does take advantage of the dopamine reward system to encourage people to gamble. So that's changing people's character, and the very wide effect of that can be seen in statistics about how families going bankrupt, children living in poverty because their parents have just used up all their money, or gambled their house. They don't have a place to live anymore, they can't eat. Now, I don't really want to present myself as an expert in that field, and it's a very hot and controversial topic, but I just wanted to point that out as an example of the kind of power that we as immersive designers can actually have on people. And I guess questions of consent, I guess in that case, it's a little bit blurry because yes, we allow people to be able to do what they like with their own money, but if we're manipulating their dopamine reward system, do they really have consent? So basically, this is a convenient framework to be able to apply to any kind of technology-based thing or that we might wish to impose to the public. But I'm sure I've basically not expressed that very well, so I really encourage you to have a look at K-Spear's video. So I'm going to end this here. Please engage with the readings this week and do the activity to really think about what the ethical implications are about your design. That's it. See you in class.